So today's video is going to be a little bit unscripted. Not that any of my videos are really truly scripted, but they kind of are, but I never stick to them. But this is totally unscripted. Either way, I still think it's going to be a fun video. So we're going to do I guess we'll call it a channel updates video, but it's not quite there. Also kind of like a game room updated tour, which I did one back in, I want to say November of 2019. So I've did a little bit of some improvements, some changes and things like that. So anyway, let's get started. So here's my collection to date. It's grown since the last update. Ignore the stuff on the table. It's part of a 1, 2, 3, 4 different projects. But I've got some new stuff and some old stuff in case you haven't seen any of the other videos in between these two room tour updates. So, the bubble wrap that's there. And let's see if I can get down there. There's the TI-99 hiding down there. But yeah, so it's a slight update. Like there's the Game Boy that, I just modded, and there's the GBA that I modded a while back. But yeah, so it's starting to get a little cramped, a little much, we'll say. Especially since I still have, I can't show too much, but my office, my workspace and everything. So it's getting a bit much, but there's more. So let's move on to the next section. So there's the Ring Fit Adventure that I have not used yet, despite the fact that I probably really should use it. So there's my 2 copies of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, because I have not been keeping track of my pickups as well as I should be. But otherwise, everything else here is the same. There's the mini console collection, Genesis, Super NES, NES, PlayStation, and TurboGrafx-16. And I also have, a few extra games in my Wii U, Wii, and Switch collection. Super Mario 3D World, obviously, and then everything else. You guys have seen most of these. And then, of course, a box of latex gloves because current global situation, although haven't touched those in a while because apparently better not to use the gloves than it is to use them, but whatever. So there's that. And yeah, so that's the second part. But let's go to the third part of this video, which is going to be a little bit more cluttered. And I forgot about this here. There's another project that I'm working on that I haven't started yet and everything. And yes, it's sitting in my kitchen because, why not? And into the quote-unquote retro dungeon. So here's a kind of a shelf. And there's the console lot that I bought that you guys saw back in January. And there's something next to it that you aren't allowed to see yet, because for me, it's special. You might not think it's special, but I do think it's special, so you're not allowed to see it yet. Ignore all that stuff here in the background. That's just stuff. So, but yeah, another shelf here. We'll move on. There's the 5150. There's the Atari 520 ST that I think I'm going to be ready to do something with soon because I've got enough stuff in to do it. There's a Mac Pro 2 Common 1 that you guys saw last June as part of that Mac lot pickup. Spare parts, I'm pretty sure, part of the spare parts C64, just some random keyboards there. Move over here, I got some spare parts for original Game Boy, Game Boy Advance. Okay, I won't point my finger anymore because it keeps trying to focusing. Part 2600 spare parts and some other spare parts there. Most of the stuff you guys have seen in pickup videos, but these are all different projects that I'm working on, including some stuff not for this channel, although I could probably show them if you want to see it. Like there's a power supply over there that needs some recapping, and there's like an old AMD Athlon 64 PC that needs some recapping, and there's the Mac Plus that I'm working on, as well as the Mac SE, and there's some of the Game Gear stuff, and there's just some random parts and paint and stuff. Over here is the G3 and the other G4 that I have, and then just a giant mess here on my workbench that I'm all different projects that I'm working on, including trying to repair the Game Gear soundboard, even though I have a new one on order, well, a whole kit on order. I'm gonna try to repair this one, and I've got some bodge wires already set up, and I'm going to try to get it working again. And here, you don't know about this necessarily yet, but there is my NES that decided to start showing corrupted graphics. I don't know if it's the actual cartridge connector or not, or if it's the PPU chip. No clue. I'm going to try to order one of these. That doesn't fix it, and it's probably the PPU. I also, and you may or may not see it in another video, I'm not sure, but I did replace, where are they at? There they are. I replaced 2 of the resistors because they were showing up as values that were different than what's printed on the PCB. Turns out that's normal. So in that Tupperware tin there is the Game Gear that belongs to this. Right up there is the Mac Plus logic board that I'm working on. That, yeah, I had to recap that, and that. So, and it's cluttered, but I'm trying to tidy it up a little bit. Shielding for the NES. Yeah, everything is a mess right now. I'm one of those people that like will start multiple projects and start another one in the middle of a current project. So this is what's going on with the channel. Yes, I'm in my basement. I'm going to call it the Retro Dungeon just because I like the sound of that better than the basement. Especially since there are other channels out there with basement referenced in their titles. This is my personality. My mind is everywhere at once and never any one place at any given time. So spare parts, the Game Gear shell that you'll see in the February pickups video. Game Gear itself that's got some issues with power, probably bad caps, haven't opened it up yet. Got a Game Boy with no power, although I'm really hoping it's just the battery terminals, but we'll find out. I'll plug in the power adapter and see. That's the Final Fantasy V cart that needs to be retrobrighted because it's yellowed. And then there's also this Game Boy card that's kind of sort of yellowed, but not quite. I have some ideas on retrobrighting that I haven't seen done yet. It's not like it's revolutionary, but it's not what I've seen done yet. So you saw this in the pickups video before. It's an entire 2600 like case, a display, whatever you want to call it. Some hard drives and discs and video cards and stuff that's probably going to be used here. What is in here? Oh, this is a floppy drive for the 5150. Yeah, I'm all over the place. I have a ton of projects and they're all going on at the same time. Yeah, this is all new. I just wanted to get another shelving unit to store some extra stuff in there because I was running out of storage. Desoldering station. Reflow station with a hot air gun and a soldering iron and all that. And random cleaning supplies, and there's some peroxide for retrobrighting, and yeah, it's totally disorganized video, not even scripted, nothing. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what I'm working on right now, so that like when I say, oh yeah, that video's coming out soon, it's like it is, but it's also because there's other stuff coming out too at some point. So but again, I'm going to try to do a video on the console lot that I bought, because especially now that I have some test games in, Xbox controller, PS3 controller. This video cable here, component video, is both for the PlayStation 2 and 3 as well as the Xbox. Might work on the PlayStation 1, but I doubt it because it doesn't have the component video output on there, although it's possible this does some conversion, not sure. I don't have a PS1 to test it with anyway, it doesn't matter. So, but I'm going to try to do this all in one video, but I'm definitely going to start with the Wii because I know that the most out of how these should all work. I've never opened any of these consoles up, even the Wii, even though I have one, but I will try that anyway because why not? But yeah, so we'll get to this. This will probably the next, if not the next video, then the week after, just because I really want to look at this stuff and see if it works or not, because if it at least with the Xbox, because it has a capacitor issue. At the very least, the RTC capacitor is known to leak, and in some cases even explode, and I don't want to have to clean up the damage after the fact. Like if the capacitor is leaking right now, I need to look at this sooner than later because the traces will be eaten away. These here I can probably wait on, but I'm going to try to do this all at once, so. Alright, enough rambling. Sorry for the discombobulated video, but I kind of wanted to give you guys an idea of what's going on here. And I am doing a dub over this because the furnace kicked in and in the background, so it's kind of hard to hear the actual recording from the video. So, but yeah, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't yet, but there's never any obligation. If you didn't like the video, hit the thumbs down, and I don't blame you for this one. It's not typical tech stuff or gaming stuff, but yeah, if you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. But please leave a comment below as to why, so I can try to use that to help improve things going forward. Otherwise, thanks all, and I'll catch you later.